Mechanics, and my name is Scott, as you can tell. I have Bobby over here. We have made a new intro for our channel, and we have an upcoming vehicle that I have gotten.
Yep.
It is a 1981 Datsun 280ZX by Nissan, straight six engine with a 5-speed manual transmission. That is going to be our new project car. The 79 Kawasaki KZ650 that was sitting in this garage, I traded it for this Datsun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait till you guys see it. It's going to be an interesting project car. We're going to more so make it into just a fun little tinker car. In the future, we want to make it more so for the track, but right now it's more so just getting the car up and running and street ready. It's in fair condition for the most part, but it still needs some outside cosmetics and engine work done on it. That's one of the new things for our channel, which is pretty cool, and I can't wait to get it here and show you guys that. Another cool thing with this channel is, I wouldn't say we're starting fresh. Everything's going to be updated, so to say, because when we first started this channel, we were just expecting, to hear what kind of comments you guys had, and, what kind of feedback we're going to get from you guys. And since we've gotten feedback from you guys, now we're moving forward and we're getting into more interesting things, and we just want you guys to come along with us and just enjoy it with us as well. But you guys will like that. But more so in the future, it's going to be a lot more fun. We have a lot more interesting stuff coming along. It would be nice to take a nice classic car like this and build it up and make it to where it's a head turner. It's gonna be good, and besides the G35 that's sitting outside, we're taking the fuel off the Spectrum for now, putting that on the back burner. That was more so for basic learning. When we first started this channel, but now it's more so introduced into the world of taking a car that's essentially meant for the junkyard and putting it back out onto the road, and that'll be more intriguing to some of our viewers versus looking at an 06 Corolla, a modern day car, which is front wheel drive automatic. A lot of people look at that car and just go, it's a Corolla. You see an 81 Datsun 280ZX, you're not, now it's like, okay, now you're talking my language. Now you're on the right page. You have a 5-speed manual rear wheel drive light car that can most likely outperform Miata, if tuned and worked on correctly, can possibly keep up with that G out there if done right.
Sadly but true. First thing is figuring out that clutch issue first.
Yes, the clutch, when you initiate the clutch, it'll go straight to the floor and stay there. This is due to the car that's been sitting for a little bit over a year now, so all the fluids in it are still very thick. The car technically doesn't run right now because the injectors aren't in there properly. A couple of parts on the injectors broke off. I already went to the junkyard, got the injector parts for them that are in pretty good condition. So we need to put a good battery in it and hook the injectors back up and technically fire it up and see what happens. I have the keys for it. I have the title switched over. Everything's all good. You're going to see us hand turn this thing at first, make sure the engine's free, which it shouldn't be seized up, because back when this guy parked it, the engine was still running perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. We do live in Georgia, so the rust amount on it, on any 280Z or 260Z, or even 240, the rust is in all the usual spots. Any of you older gentlemen or ladies out there that have owned an older Datsun, a fair lady like this, know where the rust spots are on them. You know how cool this car is. It's a head turner, and it can definitely give the newer vehicles run for its money if you do it correctly. But I'm not going to say this is a delicate project, but we're going to be very careful with it because nonetheless, it is a 38-year-old vehicle. You have to keep that in mind. A 38-year-old vehicle that has been sitting for a year. So I don't know how the gaskets look. I don't know how the oil's doing. I don't know any fluids for the clutch. The gears and the transmission seem to stick pretty fine for the most part. Like I said, the engine was running perfectly fine before it sat. I don't know what type of leaks this thing has or anything, but he said it was doing fine when he sat it. The only reason why he sat it is because he had other project cars going on at his house. Now, me personally, here in the state of Georgia, you do not see this car often. You will mainly see them up north or to the Midwest. But this car in Georgia, I just so happened got lucky that this car was 15 minutes from my house. And this guy did a straight up swap with me. A 40-year-old bike for a 38-year-old car. He said he needed to make room in his driveway. He said he had room in his garage. So we did the trade. And we made that happen. No cash exchange, nothing. Nonetheless, this is going to be a great project car for the future and for us to move forward with. And like I said before, I would love for you guys to join us on this. This is going to be a fun little adventure, and you will see it against the G at some point. Now, nonetheless, the G has a V6 as well. This one has a straight six. The power ratio is definitely not as much as his. There are more parts for this car than there are for his. And you can, there's so much engine space in there, you can do so much to this car. Let me put it like this. Anything over 250 horses in this car, this thing will move like a jackrabbit. It's light. It's not heavy like his. It is light, so you don't need that much power to make it go quick. So that is one thing I wanted to make perfectly clear with doing these upcoming videos. We're gonna have a lot of fun shit going on. I mean, we're gonna do possibly, we're gonna remap the ECU. We're gonna put a turbo in it, put better fuel in it, air intake. We're gonna be exhaust, rims, lights, rotors. You name it. It's gonna be on that car. Like I said, you're gonna see us strip it out. There's gonna be a roll cage in it. Like I said, this thing's gonna be prepped for future events, but as much as I want to do all that fun stuff right now, we're just here to get it roadworthy and see if we can get this thing running. That's what we're so excited about right now, is to see if this thing will run.
Now, what I will say about the car, the upcoming videos, we're going to actually check a few of the certain major things that we need to check. Brakes, clutch, oil, we're probably going to change it out when we first get it. Another thing, the injectors, make sure they're working perfectly fine.
Make sure there's no
fuel
leaks.
line.
Make sure there's no leaks in the brake lines, fuel lines, air lines, anything like that. We got to go through that whole deal as well.
Now with the interior, that can wait till later. You can always just throw a regular Momo or any type of racing seat in it. Be perfectly fine. You can strip all the other seats out. You don't technically need them. If you have passengers, just whatever with that. Don't need them.
Well, that's another thing. It's a T-top too, and the rims that are on it right now are the 6-spoke rims, not the other two sets. This one actually has the wanted rims for this car. It has the 6-spoke rims on it, which are actually more wanted for these Z's. Okay, so here's what's going on. The T-top for it, all the seals around it need to be replaced. They do leak, so the seats that are on it right now are pretty bad. So as soon as I get this car, the seats are being taken out like ASAP, because the inside of this car, it doesn't smell too bad, but the seats just look horrendous. The interior is horrendous on it, and it needs some love. And not enough to make my wife jealous, but it's gonna get some love. I will give you that much.
Now, the few upgrades, like he was saying before, turbo, do some coilovers, maybe either that or lowering springs.
Yeah, coilovers are gonna be our best option for it. Because the spring, I don't know how the springs are on it right now. With a 38-year-old car, they're probably sloppy as hell. But we're gonna lower it a little bit. But that's, like I said,
That's what, a 1 and 2 inch drop?
Probably 2 inches. I want to put some rotor rims on it. That would be the best bet for it, because the rims that are on it right now, I can find a nice set of rotors that not look like it.
Now, the number one thing that I know a lot of people go for these cars is the performance. Now, with performance, you need a lot of, we might need a plenum spacer. Well, it's not technically a plenum spacer since it's the inline 6.
Correct. A bigger throttle body and a throttle body spacer if we really wanted to. And like I said, when we do the intake and all that stuff, we'll make sure all that's happening. As far as the internals go, I don't know how in depth I want to go with the internals. I know we're going to do the turbo and everything. I just don't know if the internals really need to be upgraded. I may just give it enough boost, just a slight power increase. I don't really want to do it too much because I don't want to bend or break anything. This is a 38-year-old car. So the piston rings on it, I don't know how well those are going to hold up for right now. Like I said, I just want to get the car started and see what it does. It's going to have white smoke come out of it. First off, the old fuel and the old oil, I want to crank the engine over a little bit to get all that cycled through, just enough to where we can warm it up and then empty it out and put the new fuel and the new oil in it. That's another thing, we're going to have to clear out all those lines. I already have everything planned out in my head, the way I want to do the lines and everything. I know where I can get them real cheap and just replace all of them. For videos for you guys to watch, and for us it's going to be exciting, but at the same time, I will let you know right now in advance, it's going to be a headache. Because this car, there's going to be a lot of work that it may not need to be done right now, but will need to be done in the future. Because right now, it will run. I know it will run. I mean, I know I said I want to see if it'll run. I can get it to run. That's not the issue. The issue is that after it runs, how much stuff is going to hiss and leak and not cooperate, and you know what's going up on the EGR, and you know, like all that kind of stuff. You know, that's all the stuff that you have to keep in mind when getting a car that's been sitting for a year. You know, how many parts do you need to replace in it? How much of it is going to you're going to need to go through in order to get this car on the road. Even both the back taillights are just busted inward. Like this car, it has seen some better days, but luckily enough, you know, there are, you know, a couple sites out there. I'm not going to put names on because I'm not being sponsored by them or anything like that, but I know where to get these parts pretty cheap and get them put on the car. But like I said, that's just a new car. That is just the car in itself. The channel is kind of getting a little bit of an overhaul. Like I said, we have the new intro going on. We're going to have a whole bunch of new videos coming up. Everything's going to be a little bit better thanks to you guys. This channel is getting better and better each time we see it. We're getting, you know, more responses from you guys and just better input overall. And it makes us real happy to hear from you guys because it lets us know, you know, you guys are letting us know what needs to be improvement, you know, and we haven't even gotten comments like that so far. We've gotten comments on you know, on people just wanting to know what's on the Z, you know, and just wanting to know more about the Z. I said Z.
Yeah.
Z, you know what I'm thinking about now.
Yeah.
The G35. You know, some of you guys out there have given us good responses on that, and hopefully the same goes for the 280ZX as well. You know, I mean, when we get this thing going. I mean, we may have some fun with it. No, I'm lying to myself if I say that. We will have some fun with it when we get it up and running, just like we did with the G. You know, I want to have a little fun with it. Hopefully, not screwing up anything in the back end.
No.
I don't want any tires waffling.
If you push it, I'm scared of the parts.
Yeah, yeah, like what happened with the Mustang.
Yeah.
That rod actually bent. When that bent, it bent ever so slightly, not by much, but by when the car stopped, it pulled that tire out and bent the rod just a little bit. So when I went down the road, it would wobble back and forth like that. That's what I'm fearing that'll happen with the Z. So before I do anything like that, those things are going to be addressed and updated before I do anything like that. So I don't have a 38-year-old part giving out on me when having fun. So, and that's what I'm talking about in upcoming videos. That's the type of stuff we are going to be seeing on this car. I don't know really what kind of condition this, well, like I said, it's in rough condition, but the internal parts, from what I know, they're decent. But I won't know that until I get the car. So that's, you know, and you guys are going to go through that with us. You guys are you're going to be just as curious as me and Bobby, and just as eager to see what this car is going to turn out like. And you know, that's what I love. That's why I make these videos, because I like making you guys happy, I like making myself happy, and I like keeping Bobby busy because Bobby does all the grunt work. But besides that, I mean, both of us are really eager for, I mean, considering I've owned my Nissans in the past, he's technically driving a car with Nissan parts in it. It's technically a Nissan.
I've had two. Sadly.
Yeah. But, you know, and we're both eager to get this old school Datsun before it even became Nissan. An old school Datsun up and running. We're both curious. I mean, these cars, the engines in these things are like bulletproof. Like they're notorious for just being reliable and they're very reluctant. They're very easygoing. Compared to most cars that you see, these engines are actually very easygoing. They will cooperate with you if you caress them. If you're brutal with them, they will let you know. They will break down on you. But if you actually treat them correctly, they will work fine. Right? So this is what I'm talking about with a new channel. New stuff. This is the mask I used to wear when I played paintball. It has my name written all over it. It has Scott written all over it. I have Scott right here on my name tag. But, why do you do that again? Just for the heck of it?
I was like, I looked over, I'm like, huh.
You'll want to put the mask on, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when
We might need this in case some parts start flying back at us.
No, not that. If we do the compression test on it, if something decides it wants to come back at you, I guess you can wear that.
Let's go. Oh. No.
Not that. I'll keep the spark plugs undone and you can just watch the pissing. Tell me if anything's going wrong with it. That's going to be fun.
Now, if the rod shoots back at me, this ain't going to do nothing that,
If the rod shoots back at you, I'm going to be a pissed person because that engine, like I said, is very reliable. So there shouldn't be any excuse for that rod to come out at all. Unless that oil was not cooperating in that engine. But do you have anything else to add for this new channel? Besides the mask?
Yeah.
I'll put that back.
Well, there it goes.
It's alright.
It's broken!
It's fine.
It's broken.
It's been with me for years. It's good.
Alright, so but we're technically now, because I've owned my fair share of imports. I've had BMW, I've had Mitsubishi, I've had some cars that's been made here. I've had Chevrolets. It's a long story.
We both been through it. We
Yeah.
both been through the ringer with that shit.
Yeah. But Chevrolet has problems. They're just like a woman, they have problems.
Should we bring back the Cobalt? With the skip timing chain? Besides that, the skip timing chain that was on it? I think you were with me when that happened too.
Yeah. Yeah, we pulled out and all of a sudden it just
Pressed on the gas, okay, because I had the 07 Cobalt, pressed on the gas, and I ran this thing like a dog constantly, and I shouldn't have. The timing chain on it skipped. That's because the tensioner on there actually broke. And when the tensioner broke, that thing just started going all over the place. Well, one day I was going down the road, didn't even know it, and I came to a stop, and right as I was just about to pull out, the engine went and stopped. I tried turning over, didn't want to crank over. I finally got to turn over. It ran rough as can be. I pulled into a parking lot. It started smoking. We had to call a tow truck to get it to the house and everything, and I just let that thing go. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to bother with it anymore. It was just, I already had it for a year, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore.
now, like I was saying, we are Nissan enthusiasts now because I will never own nothing but a Nissan now, coming from my experiences with my other cars.
Well, that's what. Now, see, I traded a Japanese bike for a nice, beautiful Japanese car.
Now, I've had BMWs. I've had both 01, 325s, 330s.
You had to get the douche out of you. Now you're at a proper level.
They both had transmission issues when I go back there.
You know, if you had a 6-speed, you wouldn't have this issue.
Hey, I never told you about this, man. I'm trying to get a six speed for this car.
At least the shifter for the Corolla works. And my
You
5-speed.
don't have a manual shift.
Look, you can get me back on this though. Why are you making the face? The shifter, the clutch for the Datsun does stay to the floor. You put it straight to the carpet, it stays there. That one, I will give you for that. That's about as bad. That's about as bad as your shifter in that. Okay.
Get up! I'm trying to go somewhere. Get up! It's like that. I know this is going to another YouTuber, but it was the one like I watched with the quad turbos. They were trying to shift it from first to second. It was fine. From second to third, it couldn't because it was clutch slippage.
Yep.
And he could not throw it in the third.
Yep.
I was like, hold on.
I don't think we should have that issue with this car. New year, new channel, old car.
Now, I know when you first saw our first video, if you actually haven't,
Oh Lord.
go way back, go to our channel, you'll see it.
We're a lot better. We talk and do things a lot better now
Oh,
than
yeah.
when we first started. We still don't really have an idea of what we're doing, but we're better at it now than when we first started. So, I mean, whatever questions you guys have, now would be a good time to let us know before we get this car so we can have all those questions and answers lined up for when this comes along. Because if we do it along the way, we may not have time to answer those questions. So definitely let us know with that and give us your feedback on what you think should happen and what we should do, because we do take that stuff seriously. That is one of the things that we look for when we make these videos. As much as we play around and we're goofballs, we do have our serious end where we're like, man, well, I mean, this guy said this, maybe we should try this, or, this guy suggested that, or this guy has a question about this. We look at that and we want to answer them. We want to do that with you guys. Now, unfortunately, we haven't built up enough views yet to do a Q&A, which we'd really love to do, but we need more of you guys out there to do that. And I'm trying to figure out a name for you guys as well. We're Fearless Mechanics, so, I mean...
Mechanic ears?
No, are they fearless viewers?
That sounds weird. Mechanic ears sounds a little better. Like engineers, but...
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But give us suggestions on that. What do you guys want to be called, I mean, you guys are the basis on why we're doing this. So give us like I said, give us your feedback. We're not afraid. If we get a little bit of criticism from you guys, that's okay. We've been punched around before. That's cool. But like I said, just let us know. Give us info on it. I definitely want to hear it, and I know he wants to hear it. But like I said, I have the 280Z and he has the G35, and we're both kind of curious on who's going to be wanting to see what. I mean, we want to know what you guys think. Should we continue? Do you guys want to see the G, or do you guys really want to see us work on the 280? It all depends. We can make a series on either one, but we need you guys in order to make that happen. So just let us know and definitely give us your input. Now, we need those guys to yell at us, subscribe, like, I don't care, whatever you guys want to do. We need you guys to
especially
give us
comment. Comment anything you want to say. Even if just say, hey, what's up? We will respond. 100%. It might not be the same day, but we will respond. Now,
that goes back to the questions and everything. If you have questions, we will. That's what I'm telling you. Get it down now. If you get it down now, we can get that ASAP. And that's before we get the car and we start getting busy and we start doing a whole bunch of stuff.
like, comment, subscribe. Please let us know anything you want to know.
And definitely ring the bell for upcoming videos. You guys are going to want to see this.
Oh yeah. Put that notification bell on. If you want to see more videos from us, put that bell on.
You guys are going to like it. The upcoming videos, you guys are going to like it. So you guys definitely let us know. Definitely comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. It's going to be fun. We'll definitely see you guys in the future. So
Believe me, it's going to be fun.
once again, Fearless Mechanics. Remember, stay dirty and keep it cool. See you guys later.